on Sunrise and streaming on crossroadstoday.com. A lightning-induced brush fire burning overnight in McFadden. What we know, that's just ahead. And the city of Yoakum remains under a boil water notice. We hear from their director of public works. Plus, the latest on one company that's looking to combat crime with technology.
And oh boy, if you thought Wednesday was hot, get a load of what's coming our way today, Thursday, and tomorrow, Friday. We're going to be looking for lots of 100 degrees. But if you don't like the heat, we still have rain and a front in the forecast this weekend. All that in the weather coming up.
And the Calhoun Sandcrabs get ready for a big-time matchup tomorrow night versus the Sinton Pirates. We'll preview this game later on in sport.
You're watching 25 News Now Sunrise. Good morning, Crossroads, and welcome to your Thursday morning. Hope you're having a great start to your day. You may want to start getting all of those things done on your to-do list, though, before the sun really heats things up.
Maybe get out there and do it right about now, because it's going to be a little bit of a hot one today. And you don't believe me? Well, we're going to look at those high temperatures here in just a little bit, I promise. Because if you're headed out the door this morning, it's another warm and humid one out there this morning. You can guess it. Looking live in Victoria, we actually have a nice, pretty sunrise coming over us. You got a couple of colors in the sky. But if you're headed out the door to see the sunrise or for work, starting out the day 72 right now in Victoria, but the dew point's a degree off at 71, bringing humidity to that high 97%, which technically, you know that, it's enough to see some light patchy fog, but I don't think we're actually going to see any fog because we have right now above our heads an upper level high pressure system sending down some sinking dry air. So mixing in the air, no fog. But looking at your rainfall totals that we saw yesterday, I had chances at 10%, and it ended up more looking like 20% coverage, as you can see here. But some of us saw as high as an inch, even an inch and a half of rain. We're talking about folks along Highway 87, down south going towards Bloomington. But the wildfire that we're going to have more on in a little bit, it's right here. You can see they didn't see any rain. But we did see some rain, and that was after the daytime heating. You can see we got up to 100 in some areas yesterday, lots of areas. Also, lots of us in the upper 90s. But add about 1 or 2 degrees to this, that's what it's going to be like today. So if you're sending your kiddos at the door, pack them the extra water and extra Gatorade bottles. It'll be steamy. We'll have those details next.
Wednesday evening, 2 brush fires, now named the Espiritu Fire, started in the McFadden area near US 77 after lightning strikes. As of last night, the Victoria Fire Department reported the 500-acre fire was 50% contained. No injuries or danger to the public is reported, and fire officials say they will provide an update later this morning. A warrant has been issued for a murder suspect in connection to a weekend shooting on Lone Tree Road. Victoria police say 31-year-old Charles Lee Brazil is wanted in connection to the death of Tyler Gamez. Anyone with information on Brazil's whereabouts should contact the Victoria Crime Stoppers at 361-572-4200, available 24 hours a day, and callers can remain anonymous. A Crossroads landmark with a chilling past is now at the center of a heated dispute. 25 News Now weekend anchor and reporter Amaya Norman has the story.
Yorktown Memorial Hospital changed hands just 2 months ago, but the new owners, Curious Twins at Paranormal and Ghost Tours, got a surprise.
So we just didn't even know where to begin, with the city, how to work through this. The city was just like, we're going to post this on our Facebook. We're going to close everything down. You can't have your event there this weekend. We cooperated with them.
Stephen and Fred Guzman says what the city of Yorktown is doing is unlawful. They were issued a notice stating the property is unsafe and must be closed to the public.
So at this point, that's what we're doing. We're working with the legal system. Yorktown has not replied to us. They have not set a meeting, even though we are welcome to have a meeting.
They point out that Yorktown Memorial is a private property, not a public facility. They say it has never been open to the public in a traditional sense, but instead has been used more as a private institute focused on research and education.
This is not necessarily a fight that we want to fight. It's just a fight that we have to fight because that history is important to tell. And, and we're going to do our best to make sure the community knows its history and knows its roots.
Despite the setback, the Guzmans say they're cooperating with officials, taking steps to meet safety standards while continuing to share the hospital's history.
The owners have now shifted to a members-only model, meaning anyone who wants the tour of the hospital must first register as a member. We reached out to the city of Yorktown for comment, and we're waiting to hear back. The city of Yoakum is under a boil water notice. It's the first since 2021 after a pipeline broke underground. The break has caused Yoakum's public water system water pressure to drop below 20 pounds per square inch. The TCEQ requires the city to notify all residents and to boil their water for 2 minutes before drinking or cooking with it. Yoakum's director of public works says it's safe to shower with the water, but if you need to, you can use bottled water or other suitable sources.
It's challenging for everybody, but with time and the good water crew that we have here, they are accepting that challenge and they're doing the best that they can. It's just a matter of time.
Gomez says both water sites are monitored daily and is hoping to lift the boil water notice soon. He also plans to flush out the hydrants and take some samples to Victoria to ensure the water is safe to drink. The Powerball jackpot has catapulted into a staggering $1.7 billion prize. That's because no winner matched all 6 numbers in Wednesday's drawing. The next drawing is Saturday night. It'll be the 3rd largest jackpot in the U.S. lottery history. Your odds of winning are about 1 in 292.2 million. Fighting crime has been in the news as the president considers sending the National Guard into Chicago and New Orleans. But experts say it's drones that could be a game changer when it comes to fighting street crime. ABC's Morgan Norwood has the details.
Law enforcement agencies are increasingly turning to drones to fight crime. And now, an artificial intelligence startup known as Flock Safety is making a bold claim. It says its drones could eradicate almost all crime in America in less than a decade.
We think with technology, with people, with policy, crime can be a thing of the past.
Many police departments already use the company's network of 80,000 cameras, providing license plate information and video surveillance. Flock Safety estimating its cameras help solve 1 million crimes per year. But now the company is taking its technology to the skies. This promotional video showing what the drones can do when a person's car is stolen.
Launching drone. Police have been dispatched. I have visual on the suspect vehicle. Direction of travel southbound on Elm Street.
Police, let me see your hands.
They are a huge step up for law enforcement as far as following vehicles, being able to keep track of individuals in particular communities, and gathering intelligence quickly.
But critics raising privacy concerns, accusing Flock Safety of trying to place the whole country under surveillance.
If you get into a situation where you can overhear conversations that are inside a building, unless you have a warrant, you're now capturing a conversation that's not authorized.
Flock Safety's CEO telling Forbes he believes it's possible to have a crime-free city without threatening people's civil liberties.
I'm going to build technology that I think will help communities solve crime. I think if we're successful as a company, America is a better place to live in the next 10 years.
Morgan Norwood, ABC News, New York.
The city of Cuero is proposing a property tax rate of about 30 cents per $100 of property valuation. That's higher than last year's no new revenue rate, which means property taxes are expected to go up. But the rate is still below the level that would require a voter election. For the average home in Cuero, that works up to about $485, up roughly $45 from last year. City leaders will hold a public hearing on the proposed tax rate at 5 Monday evening in the council chambers. Remember, follow us on YouTube, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click that notification bell. The time now, let's get a look at our clock up here. It is 6:39 on our Thursday morning. Here's a look at what's coming up next on 25 News Now Sunrise. A longtime local official honored after unexpected news.
This morning, major medical groups are now calling on Robert F. Kennedy Jr. to resign as Secretary of Health and Human Services. I'm Nicole D'Antonio in Washington with the details as he prepares to testify on Capitol Hill today.
And also coming up next after the break in the short-term forecast, you heard me say it's going to be a bit of a scorcher out there today. So coming up next, I'll tell you just how hot I think it's going to be near you. Well, good morning, Crossroads, and happy Thursday, Friday Eve. Y'all get excited for Friday and the weekend because coming away the next 48 hours, it's going to be hot before rain gets here this weekend. So we'll look at all that here in a little bit because before any kind of rain and front action, any of that fun stuff gets here, we got to deal with the heat because, and why it's going to be hot is because I'm pressing play on your future tracker here. You can see it's going to be real sunny today. So make sure you got your sunglasses packed and maybe apply a little bit of that sunscreen because the UV index will be extreme today at an 11. But overnight tonight, going into overnight tonight, we're going to stay mostly clear early and then we'll pick up a few passing clouds late. And then we'll be looking partly cloudy, but mostly clear / partly cloudy skies tonight. We'll let our lows drop to the mid 70s, thinking 75 in Victoria. But the beaming Texas sun today can heat us up to about 101 here in Victoria. We're just looking at your almanac. That's about 8 degrees above where we're supposed to be this time of year, September 4th, and 9 degrees below our record, 110 degrees set in 2000. But looking at temperatures for everyone else, you could see probably about 80, maybe 81 degrees at 9 a.m. in the morning. Noontime, looking at low 90s, 92, maybe mid 90s in our western counties. And in the afternoon, western counties, we're talking Karnes, Bee, and Gonzales. Y'all might see 104, 105 degrees for the high this afternoon. 102 Cuero, 101 I'm thinking in Victoria, and also 101 in Port Lavaca. Also in the background, we have a little bit of moderate to high pollen, so maybe apply or take an algae pill as well, and keep doing that for the next few days before rain and the cool front come to clear us out this weekend, and we'll look at that next.
This entire week, we've highlighted a lot of top football matchups here going into week 2. We announced our game of the week there yesterday between the Victoria West Warriors and Victoria East Titans. Well, another top game to watch there will be the Sinton Pirates out of the Corpus there. They're traveling out to Port Lavaca to face the Calhoun Sand Crabs. And again, for the Sand Crabs will be their home opener in the first home game for new head coach in charge, Stephen Hernser. And Calhoun looking to respond after a hard-fought loss there last week to the Yoakum Bulldogs, 23-16. But this in mind, Calhoun did bring in a new quarterback in charge there for their week 1 matchup with Ashton Sterno. He looked a little bit nervous, but he got it out to his playmakers there in Isaiah Cabrills, and senior running back Holton Hadley made some big-time plays, but still wasn't enough to get the victory there against Yoakum. And the Sand Crabs defense, they're going to have a challenge like they did against Yoakum. Same thing with the rushing attack there for Sinton, because they got a running back in Michael Green, ran for 233 yards versus the Beeville Trojans in their 37-21 victory. So the key there is, can they stop Micah Green there for the Calhoun Sand Crabs? Can their offense make some big-time plays when they need it the most? This is Max Williams, 25, News Now Sports.
This morning, the Health and Human Services Secretary is expected to testify before a congressional committee. It comes as Florida moves to eliminate all childhood vaccine mandates in the state. ABC's Nicole D'Antonio is in Washington with the details.
This morning, Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. set to testify on Capitol Hill amid turmoil at the CDC and backlash to his vaccine policy. The moves have prompted major medical groups and more than 1,000 current and former employees across the Department of Health and Human Services to call on Kennedy to resign. The group of employees saying, "Our country needs a leadership that will promote open, honest dialogue, not disregard decades of life-saving science, spread misinformation, reverse medical progress, and decimate programs that kept us safe." Kennedy defending the direction he has taken the public health agency, saying he's working to restore public trust. Today's hearing comes a day after Florida became the first state to eliminate vaccine mandates, a major shift that health experts are calling dangerous. The state's Surgeon General explaining why.
Who am I as a man standing here now to tell you what you should put in your body?
But many health experts are warning this could put other children in schools at risk. Dr. Richard Besser, former acting director of the CDC and former ABC chief medical correspondent, saying, as a pediatrician and as a parent, it's absolutely frightening. The idea that children could go to school and be unvaccinated. That puts them at risk and others around them who may have underlying medical conditions. As kids head back to school, strong reaction among parents.
It should be the parents' choice whether they're vaccinated.
Very concerning. I would be concerned with other children who aren't vaccinated. And maybe possibly making my child sick.
It comes as multiple reports say HHS Secretary Kennedy has chosen 7 new members to join the agency's panel of vaccine experts. That's the panel that decides what vaccines insurance companies and Medicaid are required to cover. The New York Times reports at least 3 of the new members have been critical of vaccines or vaccine mandates. Some Democratic-led states are taking matters into their own hands. California, Oregon, and Washington are teaming up to form their own healthcare alliance to protect vaccines. Nicole D'Antonio, ABC News, Washington.
And that leads us to your viewer poll. You can scan the QR code right there on your screen to take part. We want to know, do you believe vaccine mandates help control the spread of diseases? 25% of you say yes, and 75% of you say no. Thank you for taking part in our viewer poll. There was an empty seat at the Calhoun County Commissioner's Court Wednesday morning. In its place, a tribute to Precinct 1 Commissioner David Hall, who passed away Tuesday in his sleep. An autopsy has been ordered to learn more. Hall took office in 2017 after retiring as a deputy with the Calhoun County Sheriff's Office. In his 26 years there, he poured his energy into projects that made a difference, from centralized dispatch to fighting beach erosion to improving local playgrounds.
It leaves a big void, a big hole in our county and in the Coastal Bend area and the state, because he was known throughout the state for the many grants that he got for our county.
This has been a tough one. David was one of the best men I know. I've known him for probably over 20 years. When he was on the Sheriff's Department, and after becoming commissioner and sitting next to him on this court, I got really close with him.
Commissioner Hall was 54 years old. He leaves behind a wife and children. Governor Abbott has ordered Texas and U.S. flags in Calhoun County to be flown at half-staff in honor of the life and service of Commissioner Hall. Flags should return to full staff at sunset on the day of his memorial service or internment once it's set by his family. Flags in the surrounding areas may be flown at half-staff during the same period as a sign of honor and respect. The time now at 6:48 on our Thursday morning. Still to come on Sunrise. Important updates announced for families about online safety and monitoring. All right, it's time to celebrate some birthdays. Happy birthday to Bryson. Happy birthday, Bryson, from Mom, Dad, brother Eli, and Molly. We love you.
Oh, look at that sweet picture. Happy birthday, Bryson. And also happy birthday to Katrina. Happy birthday, hon. Love from your husband and Lily and Grace. We love you.
And happy birthday to the Queen Bee herself. Beyonce turns 44 today.
Wow, happy birthday, Beyonce. And to see your birthday wish live on 25 News Now Sunrise, you can come to crossroadstoday.com. Just click the drop-down menu, then click the Home tab, and then you'll see Submit Your Birthday Photo.
Okay, the time is just about 6:49 on our Thursday morning. Happy birthday if you're celebrating one today.
That's right, happy birthday. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Well, good morning, Crossroads. I'm sure a lot of y'all saw the 7-day forecast a few moments ago, and you saw in the short term we're going to be a bit hot for the next 48 hours. But in the long term, something I'm sure y'all are all looking forward to, it's the rain. It's back in the forecast this weekend. Saturday, 30%. Sunday, it'll be at 60%. And Monday, it'll be at 40%. And then we're pretty much withering away for the rest of next week as this system that we're going to be tracking for the next few days moves away, but it will also send us a cool front Sunday night, and you just saw there the temperatures will drop down to about 90, maybe even the upper 90s for some that we're going to get real lucky. But I think we're going to get pretty lucky because of the rain, and it's coming from the tropics, not the Atlantic, to which we still have a tropical wave out there. Chances of development are 80%. Next 7 days. The good news on this wave, like I've been saying all week, it's going to go out into the deep Atlantic, mid-Atlantic, taking a similar path to Hurricane Erin, actually going away from the mainland. So don't need to worry about that. And we also don't need to worry about Hurricane Kiko. Hawaii does need to worry about that. Category 4 hurricane right now, 145 mile an hour winds right now. And that's going to be going towards Hawaii over the next few days. But we're going to be watching Hurricane Lorena because you see the track it's going to take next few days. It's going to take a hard right turn and dissipate as it moves over land. So that means no tropical storms are coming our way. But it does mean that as soon as it dissipates, it's going to send all of that deep tropical moisture right over the Sierra Madre and Rocky Mountains into Texas, bringing us our rain chances, and we'll probably see an inch to inch and a half of rain. And we'll look at all that and more later on Sunrise.
OpenAI says parents will soon have more oversight over what their teenagers are doing on ChatGPT. The company announced that parents will be able to link their accounts with their child's, set age-appropriate rules for ChatGPT's responses, and manage features like the bot's memory and chat history. Parents will soon also be able to receive notifications when ChatGPT detects that their teen is in a moment of acute distress. Stocks dropped in April when the Trump administration announced tariffs, but 401ks bounced back and did well in the first half of the year. At the end of June, the average 401k reached a record high of more than $137,000. That's up 8.4% from the $127,100 recorded at the end of the first quarter. The average balance grew by 4.6%. Still to come on Sunrise, news to know before you go. Authorities of question and power are at the center of a case the Supreme Court is being asked to consider. President Trump is urging the Supreme Court to step into the fray over his emergency tariffs. His request Wednesday asked the justices to overturn a lower court ruling that found his administration acted unlawfully by imposing many of his sweeping import taxes. The case once again raises fundamental questions for the court about the president's power to act unilaterally without explicit authority from Congress. A $1,000 reward is being offered for information that leads to the arrest and conviction of whoever scattered screws and nails all along Lane Road in Calhoun County Wednesday morning. The debris stretched from Highway 185 to Charlie's Bay Camp. Precinct 4 crews used magnets and equipment to pick up as much as they could. Anyone with information should contact the Calhoun County Sheriff's Office. Texas A&M University Victoria is bringing the community together for Jag Fest. It's at De Leon Plaza this evening from 6 to 9. The community can enjoy live music, food, and fun with a performance by the Stout Brothers. University leaders will give remarks at 7. And now let's go for a look at our forecast with Parker. Parker, it's going to be so hot today. Is it a record?
Yeah, it is going to be a little bit hot out there. In fact, if you're all going to be planning on going to that Jag Fest, well, it'll still be hot. We're going to look at those temperatures by 6 p.m. here in a second, because before we heat up, we got a pretty sunrise out there this morning. Look at all the pink in the sky, even a little yellow out there right now. And if you're all headed out the door to go see that sunrise or run your early morning errands, which I'd recommend you do before it heats up, by the way. We're starting to get the day not too bad, 71 degrees. The dew point's a degree off at 70, bringing humidity to 96%. But again, not enough to worry about fog because we have high pressure sitting over our heads, and that's sending down some drier air. So no fog, and we're all nice out there this morning. Lots of 70s, even upper 70s, to getting close to that warm Gulf water. But if we zoom out and look at the rest of Texas, we got some 60s around the state right now, so not too bad. But if you look at this, these are the high temperatures. We're going to be going from the 60s to the mid hundreds in some parts of the state. You can see down here 107 in Laredo. If you have any family over there, let them know about that. But for us, we're looking for 101, 102 in Port Lavaca. Underneath that beaming Texas sun, same thing in Victoria, 101, maybe 102 today. Also sunny, grab your sunglasses. And the same thing in Cuero, maybe a bit warmer, 102, maybe 103. So stay safe, yes. And it is going to be a little hot out there. Not super hot, but it is going to be a little hot. And it'll be like that again tomorrow, Friday, before our rain chances finally pick up for the weekend. They'll be 60% Sunday and 40% Monday. Maybe a few scattered showers. Maybe we'll see an inch or inch and a half of rain, I'm thinking.
Gosh, it's going to be sweltering outside.
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
be sure to find your favorite red shirt and be sure to join them for Jag Fest at De Leon Plaza. And be sure to join Shanadon, Mac, and Max tonight for 25 News Now at 5, 6, and 10. Stay cool out there.
Yeah.
celebrate some birthdays. Happy birthday to Bryson. Happy birthday, Bryson, from Mom, Dad, brother Eli, and Molly. We love you.
Oh, look at that sweet picture. Happy birthday, Bryson. And also happy birthday to Katrina. Happy birthday, hon. Love from your husband and Lily and Grace. We love you.
And happy birthday to the Queen Bee herself. Beyonce turns 44 today.
Wow, happy birthday, Beyonce. And to see your birthday wish live on 25 News Now Sunrise, you can come to crossroadstoday.com. Just click the drop-down menu, then click the Home tab, and then you'll see Submit Your Birthday Photo.
Okay, the time is just about 6:49 on our Thursday morning. Happy birthday if you're celebrating one today.
That's right, happy birthday. Stay with us. We'll be right back.